After trading James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets, the Rockets, this rebuild didn't take that long. They're already going to be able to compete this year, I think. Last year, they could have made the play-in. They were a couple games back from the 10th seed with the Warriors. They were talking shit to them, too. That shit was funny. But right now, this season, I think they're the 7th or 8th best team in the Western Conference. I think they'll make the playoffs at the 7th seed or the 8th seed. And I don't think they have to go out there and trade for Jimmy Butler or Paul George. They can if they want to, but this young core they got is pretty fucking elite. We're seeing it in the Summer League right now. Cam Whitmore, he looks like the best player on the court. And Reed Shepherd looks not that far off from him. He could do everything at the point guard position and at the shooting guard position. He could shoot, he could dribble, he could facilitate. And on defense, he could create turnovers at an elite level. 5 steals this game. Cam Whitmore had 5 steals as well, so 10 steals between the two, 47 points between the two. They both played really well, and Reed Shepherd looks like he's going to fit in perfectly with this Rockets team. The only questions about this team is, do they have too much young talent? As they have a lot of guys. This rotation off the bench alone, Cam Whitmore, Reed Shepherd, Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, and Steven Adams. A veteran that, that front court is going to be nasty. Alperen Sengun. You have Steven Adams and him in the front court. God damn, you could do a lot of things with that lineup. And then Amen Thompson off the bench. Doesn't have a 3-point game or a mid-range game. He could just attack the rim. One of the best defensive guards in the league already. He's just that good defensively. Can facilitate too. If he gets that mid-range and that 3-point game in his bag, he's gonna be really fucking good in this league. Gonna be unstoppable, damn near. So develop him more at that. But some point, I think you got to start him in the starting lineup at the point guard position. Reed Shepherd, he could start a point guard too. You have so many fucking options with this lineup, how deep this team is. Jalen Green, last season towards the end of the year, the month of March, he was averaging damn near 30 points per game. He went on a tear. As soon as he had a kid, he just went fucking crazy. Really talented scorer. And Alperen Sengun, I think he's going to be an all-star this year. 21 points per game last season, 5 assists. 9.3 rebounds. I think he's only going to get better. He got banged up towards right after All-Star break or around that point, but he's still going to get better. Only 21 years old. He's not that good shooting threes either, but they're going to develop him. Jabari Smith Jr. is going to get even better too, so they have a lot of talented young guys. Really, they could be OKC and be the first seed in the West in maybe a year or two. They're not that far off from that. And they have the right veterans. Dylan Brooks, say what you want about him. He can be a little crazy, talk shit and all that stuff. Like a role player, talking like a star player. But just the presence he has on, this Rockets team defensively and as a leader, the presence he had with the Grizzlies, it doesn't go unnoticed. He's the right veteran to have with this team. A guy that's going to go out there, be a nuts Lance Stevenson kind of player, but show up and be an important piece to winning and be an important piece to the winning culture. Fred VanVleet too, a championship, point guard. I would have him come off the bench. I would start one of the young guys, have him be a 6-man guy like he was in Toronto a little point with his Raptors tenure. Have him come off the bench. Either way, maybe Reed Shepherd, maybe Amen Thompson, whatever one you feel more comfortable with. Defensively, I think Amen Thompson should be out there and, have Reed Shepherd come off the bench too. But like I said, there's just so many options you could do with this rotation. Just continue to develop those guys, and the Rockets will be really fucking good. I think having a guy like Steven Adams and Jeff Green too. Jeff Green has been around the league. He's played with a lot of talented players. Jokic, he's played with LeBron, bounced around on a lot of teams that have, competed for a championship. A guy that can still give you double digits in a big playoff game and still be a factor offensively, a factor defensively. He could still get out there dunking on people too. Age is not, limiting his production. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.